Hi, Carrie. Congratulations on your performance. Can you please tell me where are you now?
I am in London.
Oh, with your family. And can you please talk a little bit about life in the pandemic, please, with your family?
I'm actually in London just for some of this press stuff because the internet where I live in the country isn't very good. So it can't be relied on to do a press junket. So I actually have to journey into London to be able to do this kind of stuff. So yeah, we've been, I think we've been in the minority in that we've been really lucky to have, a fairly good year. We were out in the country, so not having to sort of, be confined in the same way because we had space around us. So, it's obviously been weird and hard in places, but I think we feel lucky to have, had a fairly good experience compared to most.
I really wanted to ask you about Stars Are Blind, you and Bo working together, and that is a spectacular scene. And there are many delicious scenes in the movie, but I don't want to spoil it to the end. I want people to see it. And can you talk about Stars Are Blind? Have you rehearsed it a lot with Bo?
No, it was funny. We didn't have any, we didn't really have any rehearsal at all for this film because it was such a small budget. So I think we had a couple of hours together, Bo and I, before we started shooting. But for that scene, nothing. We just sort of, that was like the third day of filming with Bo, and we finished doing something in the coffee shop. We shot all the coffee shop stuff first, and then we went to the set of the pharmacy, which was around the corner, and we were reading the sort of slightly unprepared, but we were reading the lyrics on the way on a sheet of paper because the lyrics are quite difficult to learn. Stars Are Blind. And then we were suddenly in this pharmacy, and Emerald put Bo on one side of an aisle and put me on the other, and then just sort of played the music and was like, go for it, guys. So it was sort of started from there. I mean, we had, I don't know, maybe like 8 or 9 takes of the whole thing. I can't remember, but it was, it was very, it was a bonding experience for Bo and I because it was incredibly embarrassing for at least for the first couple of takes.
Yes, and can you talk a little bit about your costumes? You have wild costumes.
Yeah, I mean, Nancy's just such a brilliant designer, and it was such a privilege to work with her. And I think so much of what Cassie's doing is using the way that she looks to sort of guard herself as sort of armor. And I think even down to the fact that she sort of has this multicolored manicure, and she has the hair extensions and wears the sort of very tactile girly clothing. Emerald always sort of, we always talked about the idea that we always have to portray women who are in crisis in a certain way, and that they are sort of tend to look very sort of dowdy and wearing grey cardigans and, washed out. And actually, if you want people to leave you alone, you need to look like a functioning person. You need to look like you are okay and you're taking care of yourself and that you care about your appearance. So I think Cassie's trying very hard to make everyone think that she's okay and that she's not somebody who needs to be looked at. And so she's sort of hiding in plain sight. So actually coming up with her sort of everyday look was really great, because that's a disguise in itself, not to mention everything that she wears when she goes out in the evening, which of course is a much bigger disguise.
Thank you so much for spending so much time with us today. Please stay safe and healthy, and I hope to see you in person soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.